Hello everyone, this is Josh with Incompetech, and today we're going to be going over the takedown of the Kimber Ultra Carry 2. The Ultra Carry 2 is slightly different than your standard 1911 takedown. As you can see, first let's double check. No clip and no ammunition in the chamber. It doesn't have the barrel bushing that holds the spring mechanism in. They did it slightly different with a pinhole on the inside in here that you're supposed to use a tool that looks a lot like an Allen wrench to hold. I don't really care for that, seeing as how it could scratch your gun up. Now here's a standard 1911. You can see there's your spring you have to push down, and there's your bearing bushing barrel bushing that you turn and then let the spring out. We're not going to go over any more of that, but let's talk about this some. This Kimber is pretty accurate. I've shot it quite a few times now and I love it. And taking it apart to clean it, the first few times with the metal Allen wrench tool, I was afraid I was going to scratch it. So I went and found this. It's an aftermarket product that, in place of the Allen wrench type tool, goes in here once you've jacked everything back and got it racked and locked. And I'm going to show you in just a second. So let's go ahead and rack it in the locked position. And if you look right here, this is going to fit right inside there, pushing it all the way back. But if you look right there at the bottom, you see that hole? That's where you're supposed to put the Allen wrench tool in, and it sticks in there, and then it has a long piece on it that just hangs. And when taking the gun apart, that could scratch your barrel, it could scratch the finish. I don't like doing that, so I went and found this. So let's go ahead and slide this on. And that's the simple part right there. It's on. Taking it off is a little more difficult, which you'll see later. But one thing to note is with this tool, when you release the slide, it locks it right into the half moon position, whereas their tool didn't. You still had to pull this back to get it to that position. So we're now ready to pull the slide release out by pressing in on the nipple on the other side. So you press the nipple flat as you can and then pull the slide lock out. Now you just slide the whole slide apart, leaving the frame, the slide, the barrel, and the spring. So we pull the barrel back, slide the slide out, or the spring out. So that's the whole spring mechanism right there. I typically don't pull this apart unless there's something wrong with it. And slide the barrel out the other way. There's your Kimber Ultra Carry 2 takedown. Now, putting it back together should be fairly straightforward, and it is for the most part. There's a couple of things that may catch you, like if you don't have the lock of the barrel in the right position, and sometimes it catches when putting back together. So let's go ahead. To put it back in, you got to have it in the down position. Put your spring in with these curves pointing to the barrel. Now, that needs to be in a straight upright position in order for it to line up with this hole right here. If it doesn't line up with that hole, your slide lock isn't going to push all the way through. So let's go ahead and slide the frame onto the Alright, now before we go back to half moon, I'm going to at least put the pin in so that I know I've caught the barrel. Now go back to the half moon position. Okay, now we're ready to lock the slide and remove the tool like that. Now the gun is back together fully and assembled, and you can rack the slide in and release the hammer. Rack it a couple of times, make sure everything's in working order, and we're good. There's a Kimber breakdown and put back together. Well, that completes our show. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, subscribe and like. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up with comments, and I'll be talking to you soon.